Welcome to Off the Wall. My name is Trey. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out the show this week. After a week away, we are back at it, and we are about to be in the thick of arena football season, and I wouldn't have it any other way. We've got some leagues kicking off in a couple of weeks. We got a great interview with Tucson Sugar Skulls head coach Rayshaun Kizer, who was quite a bit of a ball player back in his day in the 2010s. So we dive into his playing career, learning the indoor and arena football game, how he got involved with arena football, his coaching experience, his experience with the 2021 Massachusetts Pirates, and some of the steps he's had along the way, leading him to this year being the head coach of the Tucson Sugar Skulls in 2026. So very fun conversation with Coach Kizer that we'll dive into here in a bit. We'll touch on some IFL news and some NAL news as well. Not a lot going on with the AF1 and TAL this week, so we'll probably skip them. But hey, we'll see if we get inspired a little bit later if something comes across the old off-the-wall desk here. But before we dive into any of that stuff, it's time to plug the socials. That's right. It's everyone's favorite part of the program. If you don't follow us on socials already, now is a great time to do so because we're going to be pumping out some really cool stuff, collaborating with some teams here very, very soon, leading into season kickoff. So it's at Off the Wall FB, F as in foot, B as in ball, Off the Wall FB. We're on all the socials, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We're on Facebook as well. So make sure you give us a follow on there. Racking up the followers on Facebook so that we can live stream to Facebook in the future. If you're watching on YouTube, hello, thank you for being here. Please make sure you're liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and checking out some of the other stuff we've got going on. At the time that this drops yesterday, wait, I'm getting my time mixed up. Yes, at the day this drops, yesterday I did a live stream called Arena Football Weekly with Adam Pelletier, who we both just love arena football and we want to talk ball. So go check that out on the YouTube page as well. Got some other turf tapes on there as well. Get you in the holiday spirit for the arena football and indoor football season kicking off here very, very shortly. And if you're listening on Spotify or podcast, thank you for doing that as well. Please make sure you're rating, reviewing, all that stuff. Offthewallfb.com. Got some t-shirts on there still. Gonna have the blog up and going leading into kickoff as well. Royal Retros, got the link below. Code Off the Wall, save a little cash, get a little cool swag as well. But that's enough of that. Here is the interview with Coach Kizer. All right, on the show this week, we have one of the best defenders of the 2010s AFL, who has also won a championship as a head coach and coordinator in the 2020s. He's the head coach of the Tucson Sugar Skulls heading into the 2026 IFL season. It's Coach Rayshaun Kizer. Coach, appreciate you taking the time to hop on here. How are things in your world?
I appreciate you having me, Trey, first and foremost. Like I said, I appreciate everything you guys do for us covering our game. Everything's great in Tucson. We got great weather out here, so can't complain. Beautiful day.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I've been watching some old arena games in this off season, finding social clips and some cool play designs and all that. And I swear the past 3 or 4 games I've randomly picked Rayshaun Kizer highlight reel play somewhere in the middle of it. And I was like, you know what? I'll take the sign. I'll reach out. Let's see if we can get him on the show. And here we are.
Yeah, it was a good career. I had a good career. I'm sure you're going to cover a little bit of it. So I won't speak it too much into existence, but pretty good career.
Yeah. Pretty good is underselling it big time. But like you said, there's a lot we can dig into. But I like starting off with learning about your introduction to the sport of arena and indoor football and how you initially got involved with it.
So crazy story. I'm actually glad you asked me that question. I don't think a lot of people even knew how I got into arena football. So obviously I got picked up with the New York Jets as an undrafted free agent in 2007. Maybe I should leave the years out. and then I got picked up with Montreal for 2 years. And after Canada, I didn't do enough to stay over there. So, I had my agent at the time told me to consider arena football. Obviously, when you play at the highest level, the NFL, CFL, you don't want to go down to arena football.
Right.
I'm glad I did because obviously it changed my whole life. One of the best decisions I made. My first career arena season was in Green Bay with the Blizzards. We had Coach Stout over there, Coach Lancey, rest in peace, Coach Lancey. And then we had Coach Walker over there, which is still coaching in Kentucky right now. So
yeah,
we had 3 GOATs, I want to say, that taught us the game pretty well in arena football. And a lot of credit to Coach Walker, man. He's really the first coach that taught me this game, man. I took a lot of knowledge from him. I don't even think he know that, but he needs to know that.
Yeah. Yeah, Coach Walker, I've had him on the show before, and he's one of those players where anytime, any chance I get, I'm like, you guys know this Coach Walker as a great coach. Let's show some old Coach Walker film from the '90s, and then show him how he was doing things back then. And I'm sure you bust out some tape of your playing days as well with some players that come into your org.
I just leave all my tapes up on YouTube's, and guys,
Yep.
they're curious about the coaches and how good we are, how good we were in our careers.
Yeah.
So research on me, and I always get it the next day at practice. Dang, coach, I didn't know you was that good.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I had a good career.
Yeah. It was all right. Yeah. Well, you mentioned playing in Montreal in the CFL. I've had a few folks with CFL experience on, and we've talked about it, but it seems like Montreal would be a really unique experience because of that language difference in Quebec. How was it playing there for the time that you did?
It was fun. It was different because it was really the first time I left the states to go anywhere. I was always an Ohio boy, born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. Went to college at Walsh University, which is pretty much in Ohio, still Canton, Ohio.
Mhm.
So I never really left the states. So it was the first time. Obviously, a career shock or a culture shock for me when I went out
Yeah.
there to Montreal. You have people speaking French. Just we had to catch the metro to practice. Different game in the CFL than the states. So it was a lot to learn over there, and very different. But I'm glad I went. Obviously, it just made me who I am today. You have to go experience something like that as a young man to kind of help groom you to who you are today.
Yeah. Yeah, anytime going abroad at any level, whether you're doing it professionally for sports or just traveling, like it can open up your mind to so many different experiences, so many different things. So it's cool that you got that experience at the pro level.
Absolutely. Although, like I
Well,
said, it's a good time, man. It's
yeah,
I never look back and regret anything in my career, so it was a fun time. All my stops.
yeah. I mean, you mentioned coming in and playing in Green Bay. What specifically about Green Bay made you want to go play there? Was it something where you had some options and Coach Walker was that best fit for you, or how did you come there?
Well, my agent just I think he was in contact with a couple of the coaches, and I think they was looking for a few more DBs. Honestly, it was really the only option I had at that time.
Okay.
Um, and I just took the opportunity. I didn't want to stop playing football. Didn't
Right.
have any CFL offers or NFL offers. And the only thing left was the AF2 at the time. So I decided take my talents over there because I didn't want to stop playing football. And we had a good team that year. We had a really good team. I think we almost went to the championship game, lost in a conference championship. But we had a really good team, good group of guys. It was a good season.
Yeah, and what was it like adjusting to the arena style? Like coming from the CFL, it seems like gained some experience with the waggle and that high motion. Did that help make the transition a little smoother in the arena game?
Oh yeah, absolutely. In the CFL, you got guys motioning all over the place. Very, very confusing at times, but once you learn it over there in the CFL, it's really easy.
Yeah,
So all communication over there. So when I got into arena, I mean everything was more condensed, smaller, but the game was moving twice as faster. It was so fast out there my first
yeah,
game. And that's one thing I think a lot of players when they come into this game, they don't realize how fast this game is. It's a really fast game. You got to have quick decision making over here. You just got to be on your p's and q's. You can't take this game for granted. I think that's the biggest thing. I think that players get the biggest rude awakening when they come into the first arena game and they
hmm
realize how fast this game really is.
yeah. It's always something where they're like, "Yeah, I can do this. Please, this is easy," and then it's like, "It ain't as sweet as you think it is. It is not, and not at all."
It looks super easy on TV, and everybody
Yep.
thinks they play this game. But when you get in between the balls, it's a different ball game. And the IFL
Yeah.
has advanced so much over the years, and you got some really, really good players in this league now. A lot of Division 1 talent. Like I said, I'm sure we're gonna cover that. The West is dynamic over here with the
Of
talent
course.
pool there. Even the East, they loading up now as well. So it's 14 solid teams in the IFL for this season.
Yeah, you look across the board, you're like, all right, I can see the vision. I can see them making a run. Then you go to the next one. All right, I see the vision. And you go across the board. It's like, man, there's not a bad game on the schedule. Like, this is going to be a really fun year.
There's not. I mean, I remember back in the day, you could circle easy games, but now it's not easy games. Anybody can win on any given day, any given
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday in this league, and you just can never take any team for granted, man. So you have to do a good job, making sure your guys is well prepared going into the game, and just hopefully, your guys execute the game plan the best that day.
Yeah. Well, I was a big Orlando Predators guy growing up. RIP to the Predators. But you absolutely exploded onto the scene with the Predators in 2010 and 2011. And looking back, I had to make sure this was right. 12 interceptions in 2010 and 16 in 2011. Did I read that right?
I want to say yes. I know I had 16 in 2011.
Yeah.
Record. I don't know how many I had in 10, but I led the league in picks that season as well.
Yeah. So how did you get 28 interceptions in 2 years in your second and third year in arena ball?
And I'm gonna tell all the future athletes, film study, watch film.
Yeah.
If you really dive into that film, this game is not hard. It is not hard. It's super easy. Most players, especially I'm a DB, you can study receiver tendencies, and most of the time on game day, they are not going to change their tendencies. So if you just lock in on the film and really dive into the details as far as how the receivers run their routes, the type of throws the quarterbacks can make. I mean, the game is easy. You just got to set yourself up in position, and when you're there, make the play.
Right. Yeah, just put yourself in the position to be successful. And yeah, I sometimes pick that up when I'm watching some games. I'm like, oh man, I can see it from home. I can only imagine the coordinators on the sidelines are jumping up and down, and be like, this is what they're doing. Let's pounce on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, one of my favorite players of all time is Kenny the Glove McIntyre, who you played alongside in Orlando. And any chance I get, I teach these youngins about Kenny the Glove. What was it like learning from a vet like him and playing opposite of him? It was like, man, there's no place for the quarterback to throw the ball in Orlando during those couple of years.
Well, Kenny Mack was in his later years in his career, so
Yeah.
I don't think the same player when I got there, but you could see like he was like a really good player in his prime days.
Right.
Just a student of the game. He was good at baiting quarterbacks and making certain throws. His hands was phenomenal because I think he's like the league leader in picks.
Yeah.
So he caught everything that came to him. Then I don't want to forget about Damon Mason as well. He was mentors as well when I got there. He played the middle when I first got there, so learned a lot from him. He just couldn't move the same as he was, in his 20s. But
Right.
He was a really good player. I learned a lot from him. We had a good veteran team in Orlando. So a lot of vets around me, like Josh Bush, Bobby Scipio, Robert Q. We had Nick Hill at quarterback. We just had a lot of veteran presence. That's why I think I had so much success in my younger years. I just picked up a lot of little things from every player, and I just made it into my.
Yeah, man, hearing you rattle off some of those Orlando names, I'm like, oh God, I miss them so much. But after those couple years in Orlando, you had some good seasons with the Soul as well, playing with some more amazing coaches and Doug Plank and Clint Dozell. What was your experience like there, and what'd you learn from those guys?
Well, after I left Orlando, I wanted to go to like a historic franchise. Philadelphia did. They did give me that call to move up to Philadelphia. Like I said, historical. You got Rob Rorski over there, the owner. So it was cool to play for him. And then Doug Plain, obviously, he's the GOAT, one of the GOATs in the NFL. So playing under him was great. Learning, a different football IQ with him. Clint Dozell, love Clint. Great coach. I learned so much from Clint, especially from the offensive side of things. Clint was not a defensive coach, but he was an offensive guru. And just understanding how they think on the offensive side just made me a better defender and a good DC now. Because you just understand how the offense thinks and operates.
Right. Yeah, he was one of those guys that when he was playing, he was unbelievable. Then it translated pretty well to coaching. Like he was able to have that offensive success and Yeah, it would make sense, like an iron sharpens iron situation where it's like, all right, we're going at it in practice. And we're gonna get better today.
Yeah, absolutely. Clint's good, man. Great player, great coach. He won championships as well. Like very competitive. So
Yeah.
I like that he always brought the best out of the players.
Yeah, and you played a couple years with the Los Angeles Kiss, not too far after that. And looking back, that franchise was polarizing for some people. Some people loved it; they loved how quirky it was. Some people hated it. Talk to me about your time with the Kiss and how that opportunity came about.
I loved LA personally. That
Yeah,
was my actually living in California as well. So, I just loved everything about that scenery. You can go a day off, you can go to the beach and just lay out. You don't get that everywhere you go.
yeah,
So it was a great time in LA. We had some interesting ownership group. So it was always good running into Jane and Paul. They didn't know much about football, but they supported us. They obviously put a team in LA, so we always thankful for the opportunity for that. And
yeah.
we had a good team. We had a good group of guys. When I got to LA in 2016, I don't think they won many games that year. And then I just kind of came and just brought some veteran, presence over there. And I
Mhm.
think we won. We snuck in and won a couple games. We beat San Jose that season. I think they was pretty much undefeated, but they only lost came against us.
Not long after you wrapped up your playing career, you pretty quickly transitioned into coaching arena ball. What is it about the sport of arena and indoor football that makes you want to stick with it after retiring from playing the game?
Well, when I was done with my playing career, I didn't really. I was pretty much done with arena football. I wanted to kind of focus on my secondary career,
Hmm.
and I got a call from Coach Miller, Rod Miller, who is DC now in Vegas. He just said, he was out in Bismarck, North Dakota, and he wanted me to come, be on the staff. So it took me a long time to commit to that.
Yeah,
Because it was just one of the things I was tired of going back. 6 months on, 6 months off. That can be very tiring when you've been doing that for a long time.
right.
Um, so I just took a chance on it. Coach Miller was very persistent in getting me out there to coach with him, and I could tell he really wanted me out there. So I just got into coaching and gave it a shot, see if it was something I like or not. And it was fun. It was fun. It was different. Definitely different than a player. More hours, more film study.
Yeah,
Uh, you're responsible for the whole defense, not just yourself. So it's a lot. It's a lot more than just a player. So when you transition over to the coach, you have to be ready for it.
right. And when you are a coordinator in that type of situation, obviously you're calling like you're responsible for multiple positions, helping call with plays and everything. But then I don't think a lot of like fans may realize when the offense is on the field, you're not watching the game. Like you're talking to your guys, you're coaching your guys up and getting them ready for the next series. So how was that adjustment being able to flip the switch from receiving that coaching to oh dang, I got to be the one telling these guys what to do now.
It's a learning curve. I think all first year
Yeah,
coaches, especially when you become a coordinator year one, I think it's a learning curve. You just it's a lot of growing pains throughout the season. Obviously, a lot of ups and downs, but you got to stay persistent at it and just continue to grow. It's like being a rookie coming into arena your first game. Obviously, you're
right,
not going to know anything, so you got to grow throughout that season. And by the end of the season, you'll kind of have a good grasp for everything. No different than coaching. You're a
right,
rookie coach coming here and pretty much learn your way, learn how to communicate with players, um, learn how to call a defensive game. Learn how to like adjust on the fly and not just watch the game as a fan. So
yeah.
it's a different mindset you have to have, but it's fun. I always say I don't watch games during the game. I go home after the game and I'll put it on TV. So uh, I don't know what be going on throughout the game, and it'd be so intense and competitive. So you just be trying to win.
Yeah, does being a coach in the game change the way you view normal games? Like if you just throw a game on at home, like does that change the way you enjoy the game?
No, I'm a fan, like especially of arena
Okay.
football fan. We all, as coaches and players, we all watch each other games. We all critique the other teams and whatnot. So we're all fans of this game. Obviously, we all play each other at some point. So you want to
Mhm.
kind of study your opponent, even if you don't play them until mid-season. You kind of want to see the talent they have on their team and kind of just break it down. to see what you need to do to, beat them or give yourself the upper hand. So
Right.
I'm a fan of the game, all arena. You talking about AF1, IFL, NAL. I'm just a fan of the game.
Yeah, there's so much talent spread out all amongst all these teams and all these leagues. Like you tune in anywhere, and you're gonna see some good ball players out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I say, the league is growing, man. It's getting better. A lot of talent coming into all these leagues now, and
Yeah.
I love it. It's a lot of competition now.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I have some Pirates fans that listen to this show, and I know they would be furious if I didn't ask you about that 2021 Pirates team that you were the defensive coordinator for, won the United Bowl that year, and only a couple years into coaching, and you were able to help guide that team to a league title. Tell me about that team. Tell me about that year and what you remember the most looking back.
Yeah, we can't forget about the Mass Fire. That's a special season for me. Always will be.
Yeah.
Squad gave me an opportunity when nobody else did. I know Rob Miller after Bismarck, he wanted to go in a different direction. And, Gerard took a chance on me, brought me into the Pirates with me still being a young coach. And
Yeah.
like I say, it was just special because he was like really the first person that believed in me. And then we had a good group of guys. You know, Mass Pirates history. You're going to
Oh
get
yeah.
some time up there. And Jawad do a great job recruiting those guys. And like I say, it's no excuse to lose there for the most part. You have everything you need to win over there, and Jawad makes sure that you do. And the 2021 season was just special, man. We started off 3-3, which we was rocky. I think a lot of people forget that we was just an average team, winning games, losing games, winning games, losing games. We changed coordinator. I think Jawad fired the offensive coordinator. He promoted Bones, my guy Bones Bagante, to
Yeah.
offensive coordinator. It was just a lot of moving parts through that season, and obviously the shooting that happened in Green Bay, we was all a part of that, man. So we dealt with a lot of adversity that season, and just to see how everything ended for us, man, it was a blessing, man. It was fun when you look back on it. It was a good time. We won 11 straight, and it was fun coaching those guys when we was on our winning streak. Just you could see the guys just having fun, just believing in each other, trusting each other. That's what championship teams all about, man. Just guys just playing for the brothers for the most part.
Yeah.
And for the coaches, you playing for each other on the field. So we had a good group of guys that year.
Yeah, and you want to talk about the way that season ended? What probably one of the more chaotic championship games you'll ever see. Defensive slugfest, which usually isn't the case with indoor and arena ball. But yeah, what a year, what a championship game that was.
It was up and down all game. We thought we had the game won, and next thing you know, Arizona they blocked the field goal. A couple plays later, they scored a touchdown. It's tied up. We missed the field goal at the end of the game, went into overtime. It was just crazy how much went back and forth. We went into overtime.
Yeah.
We got a fumble, and obviously we didn't move the ball much on the offensive side. It had to come down to a field goal, and we ended up hitting that field goal. It was just so much happened like within them final couple minutes of the game, man.
Yeah.
We came out over top on top, and like I say, it was a great season. And Arizona was undefeated at home. They was playing some really good football. It was
Yeah.
tough to go to that hostile environment and win that game, but our guys was ready. We had them prepared. Obviously, we was hot at the right time, and just say God was on our side that game.
Yeah, the script writers were going crazy with that one. Like you could not have scripted it much better for a storybook ending there.
Absolutely. It was a fun game. Obviously, as a coach, I mean, like I said, my heart was just jumping out of my chest every other minute. But because I really wanted to win. I didn't win a championship as a player, so I would definitely win that one as a coach. Wanted to get that experience. We got to championships games numerous of times with me in there, and we always lost. Came up on the short end of the stick, so it was good to be on the winning side of it for once.
Yeah, I mean, you won that championship as coordinator in Mass, got the head coaching opportunity in Mass the next year, and then you won a championship the year after in Omaha as a head coach. So went from not winning one as a player to winning 2 and 3 years in your first couple years as a coach. So what was that jump like from being a defensive coordinator to head coach? Like, was it a bigger leap than you thought it would be? Was it as much as you thought?
It was, especially in math. It was. You had a lot more on your plate. I was always just focused about the defense. I always been focused on defense. And
Yeah.
as a head, you got to be focused on the whole picture. You got to be focused on the players, your coaches, the overall, scheme, um, just the overall, throughout the game. Are you going to make the adjustments? How
Mhm.
you manage the game. Everything falls on you as a head coach. So all those decisions falls on me for the most part as a head coach. So it was an adjustment. I thought I did okay my first season as a head coach. At least I thought
Yeah.
I did. We went
Nice.
11-5. We wasn't that championship team that we wanted to be in 2021, but we went 11-5. Lost in overtime to a hot Quad Cities team that year by one
Mhm.
point. That was heartbreaking for me in so many ways. Just heartbreaking because I feel like we was the better team. We just didn't play to the level that we wanted to that game. We started slow and we fought back in, and it was just a tough loss for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a tough one, and like you said, just a white hot Quad City team. But
Yeah.
that next year, you found your way over to Omaha. You were the head coach for the Omaha Beef. How did that come about? And was it hard leaving Massachusetts?
It was hard. Honestly, I never wanted to leave Mass.
Yeah.
Jawad wanted to go in a different direction after that season. Obviously, he was disappointed we got knocked out the first round of the playoffs. Obviously, I was as well.
Right.
But Omaha gave me an opportunity. I'm thankful for Ricky for giving me that opportunity to, coach Omaha. And, I didn't have no expectations for that. I didn't know much about the CIF at the time. I didn't know any of the coaches in the league. Um, I just knew I wanted another opportunity to be a head coach, and Omaha gave me that opportunity. And we did a lot of historical things that first season there. Went 13-0, won a championship, kind of blew through the league, honestly.
Yeah.
Um, we had Tommy Armstrong, which great quarterback, obviously. So great leader as well. We had a lot of good players and a lot of good leadership on that Omaha team. So it wasn't just me; it was the players and leadership too.
Yeah, I follow some of the players that were on that team on Instagram and Twitter, and they'll post some things occasionally. I was like, oh my god, the score was 71-0 at the end of this game. I was like, oh, they were just crushing teams.
We had a very, very good defense. Very good defense, man. I compare that defense to some of the top IFL defenses. We had a good group of guys that just played for each other. They
Yeah.
trusted the game. They executed every week. It was very, very hard to score on us, and it just made the offense job a lot easier because they didn't have a lot of pressure on them to score every possession.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're giving up 0, just kick a field goal and call it a day. You're good.
Pretty much.
Well, speaking on some of those players, you're reunited with a couple of those players for this upcoming season from that Beef team, and you've been in Tucson for the past couple of years as the defensive coordinator before becoming the head coach for this upcoming season. What inspired the move over to Tucson after that really successful campaign in Omaha?
Well, some things shook up in Omaha. Ricky decided to go in a different direction after the championship game. Don't
Yeah,
ask me why. I don't know. But it's his organization, so he wanted to do that.
right.
Um, and at the time, Billy Back was looking for a defensive coordinator. Ironically, it just worked itself out, and I just landed right in Tucson. Obviously, I always loved Arizona as a city.
Yeah.
This was a place I always wanted to live. So I mean, it was a blessing to leave Omaha and come in a place like Tucson. And I always wanted to coach with a coach like Billy Back, great offensive minded guy. I always felt me and him would make a good tag team together. And obviously, we was expecting better results in Tucson the last two
Yeah.
seasons that we didn't get.
Yeah, how do you like it out in Tucson? Well, I mentioned before we went live here, went out there for the title game last year, and it was a little warm in August. It was a little toasty out there. How do you like it?
I love it. I'm come from a cold place, Cleveland, Ohio, and when I get out in Tucson, it's beautiful out here. Beautiful weather. I don't
Yeah.
mind the weather. I love it. Great scenery out here. Obviously, a lot of hiking goes on. Everybody exercise out here.
Yeah, and coming from Cleveland, I can imagine you were frozen solid for the first 25 years of your life. So you're still thawing out in Tucson.
Yeah, I like I said, I love Tucson, man. Beautiful scenery out here. Beautiful weather. You can't get no better than this. To me in the states, Arizona is one of the my favorite places to live, and I've been all over this world. So This is my favorite place. I love it here, man. Like I say, I hope to stay here many, many years. Put it like that.
Yeah. Well, 2026 is going to be a big year for the Sugar Skulls. First full season with new ownership group in place, a fresh start, new head coach. Talk to me about what has you excited about this upcoming season.
The ownership group. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Edmund, he's our majority owner of this team. He been doing a great job. Me and him kind of been tied to the hip as far as rebuilding this team in the right way. So this is going to be a completely new Tucson Sugar Skulls team over here. So I want to be the first to say that this is not going to be the old team. We got a really, really invested ownership group this season that's pretty much revamping everything over here. So they giving us the resources to win on and off the field, and we doing everything for the guys to make them successful on the field, on and off the field as well.
Yeah, the arena you guys play in is a really really cool spot. I was there for the championship game last year, and it's like, all right, like this is pretty nice. Like part of that convention center in that downtown area. It's like, all right, they got something good going on here. Now, yeah, if that ownership group is doing what we think it can do, look out. Tucson can be on the up and up.
That's the goal. That's the goal. Obviously, revamping everything, promoting me as head coach, and bringing James Fuller over here as the offensive coordinator. I love what he does on the side, and local ownership group really investing into this team now. I feel like we got a good roster. Recruited a lot of great players over here in Tucson, guys that we feel like that are hungry, that's ready to compete week in and week out. So we, like I said, we on the up and up, and looking forward to the season.
Yeah, and as I was prepping for this, I realized something. You've been battling with the Arizona Rattlers for 15 years now.
Ooh, I'll tell you what, me and Kevin got, he might not admit this or not, but we be having some battles.
Yeah.
Like, I know Kevin got like the back of my hand now, and I know he fought for me as well. And we had some up and battle. Obviously, as a player, 3 times in the championship game when he was the coach. And fast forward that in the Pirates, I beat him in the championship game.
Yeah.
Last season, we had some crazy games with the Arizona and Tucson. We came back and beat them when we was down by like 20-some points both games. And it's just been some battles, man. I love the Arizona games. They're always so intense, physical. And when you go down to Glendale, it's always a great environment as well. So I love them.
Yeah, you've got a couple head-to-head opportunities this upcoming season, and it seems like the state of Arizona is just going to be an absolute battle. And not even just the state of Arizona, the entire Western Conference is going to be a battle. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this season unfolds.
And like I say, any given Saturday, any given Sunday, obviously Vegas is the championship team. So to me, still had a crown until somebody knock them off. So all respects go to them for now. And like I say, everybody try to get to where they at.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you've got open tryouts coming up in March. Tell me about that and how can people get involved?
So yeah, March 7th, that'll be a Saturday at 10 a.m. We're going to be at Keno Sports Complex where we practice at. We look for a lot of local talent out here. One thing that happened throughout the season, people get injured throughout the season. And we always looking for guys that's close by we can call in. So it's a great opportunity, really great opportunity for guys to kind of come in and showcase their skills in front of the whole coaching staff. The whole coaching staff will be here, and we will be evaluating guys. Even if we do not sign guys at the tryout, we could be bringing guys in mid-season at any point of the time. So like I say, it's always a good opportunity to put your face in front of the coaches and show us what you can do. If you sending us film, is not the same thing. It's just not the same thing. I'd rather see you in person, see how fast you are, put you through some drills, and put you through some one-on-one drills as well. Let me see how you compete. There's a registration link on our website, TucsonSugarskulls.com, $70, or you can do in person, $80 cash or money order. We'll be doing a combination of 40-yard dash. We do some bench press, some individual drills, just a lot of small stuff, a lot of competing one-on-one drills as well. I want to see who can compete, who's going to win the 50-50 ball. So, like I say, Tucson, show up. Let me see what you got out here. They always say it's a lot of talent in Tucson. So I'm ready to see it at the tryout for sure.
Yeah, and with these new streaming deals in place for 2026, it's a good time to get out there and And if you're thinking about it, try it out and let's see what you got, right?
Hey, if you don't have $80 to invest in yourself, and nobody else will. I feel like it's
That's
always
right.
worth the investment, especially if you believe in yourself.
Yeah.
And it's life changing for a lot of players. You can get on the team, and it could take you to the UFL, CFL, or NFL. So you just never know what can come from this opportunity. So that
Yeah.
little $80 can turn your whole life around in a year.
Yeah, 100%. And we've seen it. We've seen dozens of players get moved up from the IFL over the past 12 months or so, if not more than that, right? So, well, Coach, this has been great. I appreciate you hopping on here and let me pick your brain about your career and hearing about what's going on in Tucson. But before we get you out of here, championship game is in Tucson.
Yes.
What do the Sugar Skulls have to do this year to be able to be the home team in the championship game? That would just be something that's so cool.
Well, first off, we gotta win enough games to get in the playoffs. Let's start there.
Yeah.
I jump to the championship game until we get into playoffs first.
Right.
Obviously, the 2 seasons haven't been the best seasons. We missed the playoffs, so we just want to win enough games to get in the playoff, get into that dance, and obviously, it's a 14 battle in this West. We see how it is. I think Vegas was like the underdogs are on the road team most games, and
yeah, they were the 4 seed. Yeah.
Yeah, and they end up going to the championship game. I think that it happened the year before with the Rattlers.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you get into the dance, it really don't matter. You just got to be hot at the right time.
Right.
So that's the goal. We got to be hot towards the end of the season, playing our best football, and looking to go in the playoffs and put together a great game plan and compete and win. But obviously, our ownership group have high expectations on getting to the championship game here in Tucson, and I do as well. It's nothing like hosting a championship game in your hometown. So,
Yeah.
hopefully we can, deliver that and within one of these next 2 years, if not both. And like I said, I'm gonna do everything in our power to make sure we are in a mix to be able to compete, sort of like that, and win every game.
For sure. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys do your thing this upcoming season, and best of luck on the season ahead. And we'll talk soon. Okay.
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate all y'all do as well.
Big thanks again to Coach Kizer for joining the program, talking about his journey and what's ahead for the Tucson Sugar Skulls in 2026. As someone who was in Tucson for the national championship game this past year in 2025, it's a good football town that needs a little bit more representation. And Tucson, the Tucson Sugar Skulls does just that, gives them a nice reprieve, an oasis, so to speak, in the summertime that is hot in Arizona. Get people indoors, that sweet AC, and watch some indoor football. So excited to see what Coach Kizer and company are able to do to right the ship for the Tucson Sugar Skulls. I think they're a sneaky dark horse in the Western Conference if they can get some proper what's the word I'm looking for? Proper production out of the quarterback position and really get the ball distributed throughout the offense. The defense is going to be in line. Coach Kizer's had that defense going really well for the past couple of seasons. It's just a matter of can the offense step up and do what they need to do. So they're going to be a very interesting team, a bit of a wild card in my opinion. But hey, we'll see what happens with them. Go give Coach Kizer a follow. Go give the Tucson Sugar Skulls a follow and let them know you heard them on Off the Wall. We're going to dive into some IFL news now, and the biggest news of the week is that the FanDuel Sports Network is out with the IFL. The IFL released a letter from the commissioner, I think they called it, where it stated, after a thorough evaluation of our media strategy, the Indoor Football League has ended its relationship with the FanDuel Sports Network. We are grateful to the entire FanDuel Sports Network team for their collaboration, professionalism, and support of the IFL. So it seemed like the writing might have been on the wall for this for a little while now. They announced FanDuel Sports Network as one of the partners, I think back in October, late October, early November, and then some things started circulating about the longevity and health of the FanDuel Sports Network, maybe not being the best, looking for suitors to potentially buy it out, and there were some reddish, orangish flags throughout, but it seemed like they were scrambling. The FanDuel Sports Network, at least, was scrambling to try to figure some things out. That's my interpretation of how everything played out. Don't know that for sure, but it seemed like they were trying to really make it work with the fast TV channel that they were going to supposedly have for the IFL and the FanDuel Sports Network collaboration and partnership. But it seems like they might have just ran out of time, and FanDuel Sports Network is totally closing its doors and shuttering at the end of the NBA and NHL season, I believe. So the IFL is going to have to pivot here. They already announced earlier today, at the time of recording this, that the Yahoo Sports Network is going to take on the majority of the games. So that before they were taking on 59 of the 119, now they're going to be taking over 64 of the 119, with the rest of the games going on a partner service that is yet to be named, that I'm sure we'll hear more about a lot sooner than later. Because hey, the season's about 2.5 weeks away at this point. So we're gonna have to figure this out and find this out very, very shortly. But yeah, it's a bummer to see FanDuel Sports Network not be a partner here. I know that created a lot of buzz and that created a lot of noise within the space, and people were excited for it. But the news and chatter of FanDuel Sports Network may probably not being around starting in December kind of took the wind out of the sails with this announcement, and it seemed like it was inevitable from a certain point. But we'll see what the IFL does to pivot. It is a bummer, and I saw some folks taking a little victory lap. Some folks that may not like indoor football, they like arena football, not indoor football. To me, I think it's bummy behavior. I think you're a loser. Let's just say it what it is. If you're celebrating this, because end of the day, 50-yard football is 50-yard football. And what's good for one of the 50-yard football leagues is good for all of the 50-yard football leagues. So it's something where it's like, dang it, this could have been really, really cool. But we'll see how the league pivots. We'll see how it goes, and how it goes from there. So FanDuel Sports Network, it's out. What's the replacement? I'm sure we'll find out soon. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think the IFL should do from here. Second bit of news I wanted to dive into actually happened last week while we were having our little break away. But Inside the IFL is coming back, the league's official weekly podcast and video show designed to bring fans closer than ever to the game. So it's going to be hosted by Brent Stover, who is the national broadcaster and the voice of the IFL for, I think, 20 games this upcoming season, as well as IFL Chief Operations and Brand Officer Eric Van Beek. Inside the IFL will serve as the league's premier storytelling platform. The weekly podcast and video program is dedicated to showcasing the people, the personalities, and momentum driving the league forward. So it sounds like they're taking a little off the wall approach. If you ask me, I'm kidding. It's okay. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this new iteration of Inside the IFL is, and love hearing the stories. And there's just so many stories to tell in this wonderful and weird world of arena and indoor football, and the IFL is no exception to that. So I'm excited to see how this takes shape, how this goes. Provide some insights to how the league actually operates and how they're planning on growing and what they're doing behind closed doors to make this season the best season possible for the league and for the entire indoor football ecosystem. So lots of personalities in the space, and I'm excited to see how this show can potentially put those personalities on a pedestal and give them a moment in the spotlight. You would think that this is going to be officially on the IFL network. Now that I said it out loud, let me look through here. I don't think it says it explicitly if it's going to be on the IFL network, but I would anticipate it being one of those shows that is the anchor for the IFL network moving forward. So yeah, more to come over the next couple of weeks as we inch closer and closer and closer to season kickoff on March 14th. But teams kicking off week 1 will have their players reporting to camp this week. So it's picking up. Business is picking up, and we're about to be in the thick of it. So yeah, Inside the IFL, I'm excited to see it take shape. Pivoting over to the NAL for just a moment, training camps are starting for teams. That's right, the Omaha Beef and Colorado Spartans, I believe they started this week. Louisiana Rougarou and Pueblo Punishers reported last week, and we're starting to see a lot of content on the socials. We're starting to see teams start to practice, start to get into game shape, starting to get into indoor football regular season shape. And yeah, it's an exciting time. There's just no other way to say it. It's an exciting time. Regular season kicking off on March 7th for some teams, with some preseason games going on that same weekend and this weekend as well. But a full slate of league games coming the weekend of March 13th and March 14th, that Friday and Saturday. So we're going to be in the thick of it here, but there's going to be some preseason games this upcoming weekend, then the weekend after with a couple of regular season games as well. So let me know what you're looking forward to in the first couple of weeks of the NAL season in the comments. And yeah, what do we want to learn about? What do we want to talk about? Who do we want to interview? Let me know. And that's the show. Thank you so much again for taking the time to check out the show this week. Thank you to Coach Kizer for carving time out of his busy schedule to talk shop about his career and what's going on in Tucson. Like I mentioned before, it's an exciting time in the IFL. It's an exciting time in Tucson. It's an opportunity for a new beginning, not just on the field, but off the field as well. So Tucson's got some good momentum going for them, and hopefully they'll be able to capitalize on it moving forward and really rebound after a rough couple of years. But socials, please make sure you're following us on all the socials at Off the Wall FB, F as in foot, B as in ball. We're on Instagram, X/Twitter, TikTok, all the things and stuff. Go give us a follow on there and come join the conversation. Come engage. I love chopping it up with folks. Some folks don't agree with everything I say. Some folks agree with some things, but not other things, and that's okay. We cannot agree, and that is A-okay, as long as you come from a place of goodness and positivity and love for the sport. We can have a fun combo. So come and engage and join the conversation on socials. YouTube, if you're watching, thank you so much for doing that. Please make sure you're liking the video, subscribing, and doing all that stuff. Throw a comment on there if you want. If not, that's cool too. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, thank you for listening. Please make sure you're rating the show 5 stars, preferably. But hey, I trust your judgment. And what else do we got? offthewallfb.com, Royal Retros, all that stuff is in the description. So just scroll down just a hair. Check it out there if you haven't already. There's only 24 hours in a day. The fact that you chose to spend about 45 to 50 minutes of that day listening to this show, watching this show, it means a lot. So thank you so much for taking the time to do so. We're in it. Arena and indoor season is around the corner. We're getting started, and what a time to be alive. So I'll see you on socials. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye.